All right, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Wait, Nick there, Gabe here. I got confused when I'm not the one introducing. What's going on?
Oh, you just got to tape your hands down or something like that. We are here ready to talk about this crazy match. This is a match, and I've only been watching IPL for 2 years. This is a match I do not understand. I love the numbers. The numbers make no sense. Gabe and I watched the beginning of the match, and then we watched the final over in his classroom during our lunchtime. It was the final over going on. We have an early lunch, and we're going to talk about this insane match. I have so many different things, opinions that I want to say about it, and I'm not a fan really of either team. I respect both teams because it's the IPL, but this match makes no sense, okay? But let me just start off by saying this. I am getting sick to my stomach about this summer of Gabe nonsense. It finally ended yesterday. And then I thought you mushed Chris Gale. We'll talk about that later. No. There was just someone not as smart as you. And I can't believe I'm saying this sentence. Someone not as smart as you were with that decision, right? It continues because you were slamming the Kings for the decisions they made for the auctions, all this kind of stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, just wait when they come back. And when they started to chase, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be so – I'm getting sick and tired of it. I don't want to spoil too much in case you didn't watch the entire match. But Gabe can do no wrong. And I'm going to tell you right here, and don't do a double change on me. Whoever you choose for your mush pick, I'm going with tomorrow. I'm going with. Ooh. That's how crazy I am, how low in the dumps I am with Dream 11 and everything else. You can do no wrong. And it's time for us to drive the state line and get some lottery tickets, my friend.
Well, first and foremost, my man, I can't give out the mush book pick right now because I need him to stay through the whole video.
I'm just saying. I'm going to actually pay attention this time.
Second of all right, I've anointed this match the debacle in Dubai, bro, because this was an absolute debacle, a debacle by the Kings, and it was an embarrassment. I mean, so many thoughts, so much to talk about. I'm going to take the Rajasthan Royals side. Nick's already going to take the Kings side. We want to jump right into this match. What we liked, what we hated, and what we learned. I'm going to start with what I liked, okay? I'm going to start on a positive note. Jaiswal, okay? I love seeing Jaiswal, and people are going to be like, oh, bandwagon. No, go back to last year. Go in the archives. Little humble plug there. Try to get that old video a little hit too. You know what I mean? When we did our IPL, right? And we were picking up our teams last season, and I picked, we always do our purple cap winners. We always do our orange cap winners. We always do our emerging players, and I had picked Jaiswal as my emerging player. Okay, I read the story on him on ESPN, as a matter of fact, and they talked about how this guy had just recently been selling food as a street vendor, bro, and that this guy paid his way because as a parent of not one, not two, not three, but 4 athletes, 5 kids. Actually, Alex is playing now, so 5 athletes. It's expensive, all right? Your time, your resources are dominated taking these kids all over the place. And his parents can afford it, so he had to work to it. And you love that story. And they didn't give him the chance last year. But I had kept reading on him to see how good he has been doing, like domestically in more local leagues or whatever. And they gave him his chance, Nick. And this kid absolutely went out and raked today. They put him as an opener, which tells me they're looking at him for next year because he's a cheap guy. They can retain him, right? If I'm not mistaken, they retain him since he's a cheap guy. And that's how you build a team if you're the Rajasthan Royals, okay?
Highest score today. Highest score in the IPL.
Highest score in the IPL, 49 on 36, a 136 strike rate. Unfortunately, I was late to work, man. I waited till the very last minute to try to see this guy get his 50 because I've been toting from him since last year, or since the last IPL, I should say. And unfortunately, he did not get it. That nervous 49, man. That nervous 49. And you can see he was playing nervous at that point. It was so tough, okay? What else did I like? Evan Lewis, okay? I mentioned, oh, man, I'm excited to see what Evan Lewis could do. 36 on 21, 171 strike rate. My man put in work. And they came in and immediately they started to rake, Nick, Lewis barely made it out of the power play. He got taken down in the power play in the 6th over. But you come in and give me 36 runs before the power play is over. You didn't eat up too many balls. You know what I'm saying? 7 4s, 1 6, 171 strike rate. That's what you need. I absolutely love that performance. Liam Livingstone, all right, your man. He was struggling there for a bit, but turned it on. 147 strike rate again. He saw 17 balls, scored 25 runs, 2 fours and a 6. That's what you have to do. That's how you win games. And finally, Nick, I was like, who is this guy, Lamore? Who? I wanted to see Chris Morris in there. I wanted to see Tawadia, the all-rounders I had picked. But Lamore told me who he was. 43 on 17 balls, Nick. A 252 strike rate. My man had 4 6s. He had 2 4s. He absolutely dismantled. I say it again, dismantled the Punjab Kings bowling. All right. He let him have it, cousin. He went out there and served. He held court. And again, this is also a younger guy, Nick. So to me, if KKR, and I think this is how it works with the mega auction, they can retain like their uncapped players, right? That's like in our game, how we got those uncapped players. Jaiswal, to my opinion, is going to be an uncapped player, and so is they told me how to pronounce it today, Lamore. So if these two are the building blocks, and you come, oh my gosh, the future is bright for Rajasthan Royals. And Royals fans, before you kill me, yes, I did clown the franchise yesterday. Yes. In one of my videos, I did say playing with between, my boys, KKR, and playing with the Royals is like, you know what I'm saying, the Yankees in Oakland. You know what I mean? In one team, you're going to get taken care of. They're going to rub your back, little massage, shiatsu, all that good stuff. And on the other team, I mean, you're actually going to be eating food off the street cart with the vendors. I don't know what to tell you. But today, they showed up, Nick, and man, it was impressive. On the bowling side, I'll be honest, there wasn't too much to be impressed with because guys got absolutely manhandled. This pitch was absolutely filthy today. It was yielding runs. I was like, what are we in Sharjah? It was brutal. An embarrassing pitch. But I will say this. Not all wickets are the same, Nick. Not all wickets are the same. And on top of not all wickets being the same, okay, my man Tyagi put in work. That last over was absolutely masterful. When my man gave up 1 run and got 2 wickets, he went into the over, not even a ball, a run. They needed 4 runs on 6 balls, and he put in work. My man put in work. Give me those cookies, bro. Took 2 wickets in the over, shut down the game. That was it. That was the game, Nick. So to me, that's what I liked about the bowling. My gosh, Chris Morris, I will say, and I'll talk about him when I talk about my misses, almost got hootie today. But that's what I liked. Nick, what did you like on your boys now? And I'm giving them to you. They disrespected the universe boss. I'm done with them. Are you going to save me any scraps here? You going to save me any scraps? Is that okay?
We're already 9 minutes in the video. Holy cow. That's one segment, ladies and gentlemen. 1 out of the 6 right there. Holy cow. What did I not like, or what did I like about the Punjab Kings? This is such a weird match. And I'll get back to it later on, but Lamore, he's the reason why the Royals won this match easily, and I'll explain that later on. Easily, he's the reason. He's the difference, because let me tell you, there's a lot I liked from the Kings. I liked more about the Kings' performance in this match, individual performances, than I've ever liked from any losing team in the IPL. That's why it makes no sense, and I'll bring it full circle on what I disliked. But let's look at the first 4 guys. You have your first 4 who saw all but 3 balls in the match, and they start off this way, and you don't win. KRL, 49 on 33. What was the knock on him? He didn't have a high strike rate, almost 150.
Buck 50.
Agarwal, I hate Agarwal so much.
I hate him. I
went with Samson. I went with Rana. I went with all these guys who I know give me 1 good performance, and that's it. And I missed the boat on Agarwal because he lost his mind today. 67 on 43, a strike rate of 156 almost. Markram, who you were clowning a little bit earlier on, still not out. 26 off 20. I don't know why they're so big on this guy. Nicholas Perron, the guy showed up he's so glad to be away from India, for crying out loud. No offense to India, but in the IPL in India, he has not performed. In UAE, he does 32. So your first 4 guys, 49, 67, 26, 32. That's extremely impressive. You talked about Jaiswal. KR Rahul did the same exact thing in fewer balls, I believe. And then the other guys, they didn't even get to the tail end, right? They didn't even get there because the other guys, Huda and Allen, we'll get to them a little bit later too, only saw 3 total balls. So your first 4 batsmen get you 183 runs. That's pretty impressive for crying out loud. The bowlers, you had a bowler in Shami who bowled in the death very, very well with 3 wickets. And you had a bowler in Arshdeep Singh that got you 5 wickets in the IPL. 5, and I didn't pick him up. Oh, I'm so bad at this Dream 11 nonsense. You had a guy in Huda. He got hootied. 2 overs, 37 runs. We're not going to call it Hootie anymore. We're going to call it Hooded. You got hooted. Adil Rashid, I'm not sure what he was thinking. I think he forgot how IPL is played. 3 runs and 35. But that's more about what I dislike. There were so many performances on what I liked from the Kings. Just looking at their death bowling, for crying out loud. 7 runs in the 20th, 3 in the 19th, 7 in the 18th, 4 in the 17th. Now, the 16th over, they gave up 24 runs. But in the last 4 overs, they only gave up 21 runs. They only gave up 20 runs. The death bowling was fantastic, and when they gave up 180 total runs, only 20 some odd in the last 4. I mean, they had so many good performances. Those are the things I like. But here, let me just jump right into what I dislike because it goes all together. The Kings lost a game they had no business losing whatsoever. I get it. They were chasing a huge score. I understand, but this pitch was giving away runs for free. You get a 4, we'll give you 2 extra just for fun. They were giving away runs like it was nobody's business. Everyone was scoring. They were chasing huge, and they were at one point, Gabe, where they had, what did they need? They needed 8 runs on 12 balls. In a game that gave up 368 points. What are the odds? Someone do the odds for me somewhere. The odds where it gave up 368 points. You only needed 8 on 12 balls in the death in the IPL and T20. They completely choked it up. They completely coughed it up. Let me give respect where respect's due to let me get to it. He's already said Tyagi and to Mustafa Zur.
Right.
These guys came in the death. They had the impossible task. Hold them to 8 with 12. These guys are cooking. These guys have been established. They've seen more than 20 balls. Not going to happen. Somehow it happened. The Kings threw this away. They bowled out the competition, Gabe. The Royals they love scoring runs like I love seeing runs. They got bowled out, Gabe, and they still got 185 runs. How often do you see that? You lose a few wickets, you get a little frozen. You get a little scared. You get very conservative, right? We see it in all sports. The Royals are like, we don't care how many wickets are out there. Every single tail ender's like, I'm going to score some runs. I don't care about this nonsense. They bowled them out. They had someone with a fifer against them. They needed 8 runs on 12 balls. Kings fans, if there's any of you left, you better go into hiding right now because you are the laughing stock of the league, for crying out loud. This is absolutely horrible. This is horrible. Add it to more hate mail I'm going to get, but this is absolutely atrocious. How do you have so many amazing performances? We can't blame the strike rate of KL Rahul. We can't blame the strike rate of Agarwal. All these guys were 130 or above. We can't blame the tail end. It makes 0 sense. And this is not a rant, but I just cannot believe. I can't believe what my eyes saw, Gabe. I can't believe it. The Royals took this win. They showed up like we've never seen before. They only gave up 5 runs in the last 2 overs. 5!
Right.
5 when this game's, oh my gosh, absolutely insane. Kings fans, I feel bad for you. Not as bad as an RCB fan, but I feel bad for you. Royals fans, this possibly, Gabe, this might be the most exciting match of the year, even more than CSK Mumbai. Just the way it came down. 5 runs is all they gave up, and they got a bunch of wickets.
No, definitely. And I mean, here's something I thought about, right? Like you said, 5 runs in the last 2 overs, right? And in the last 2 overs, Nick, you've got Nicholas Perrin, who in that 19th over, this is Nicholas Perrin we're talking about. I'm going to give it to you ball by ball, okay?
Oh, man.
18th ball, 18.1, so the first ball of the 19th over, technically. All right? He banged it for no run, right? Banged it straight into the ground, no run. Couldn't connect it, right? Yeah. Perrin, second ball, no run. Next one, 1 run. He swung at a wide Yorker, Nick, and sliced it down. Listen to it. And you told me this while we're watching it. Swung at a wide Yorker and sliced it down to third man. All right? Only 1 run from that. Then Markram, 1 run. Sampson actually could have caught him, but he dropped him, put down a harsh an edge. That's, again, that right there, that's a huge drop for them, all right? Then Perron, again, 1 run, all right? And then Markham, 1 run. These guys, and Markham tried to sweep it to deep cover on that last one, but these guys, at this point, bro, you come in, 10 off of 15 and then 8 off of 12, like you said, you got to take a big shot. You got to run up on a crease on them. You got to be able to trust that even if you get a 6, pretty much ends the game. So you've got to be able to say to yourself, the guys behind me can go ahead and get those runs. If everybody has that mentality that I'm going to come out and yak for a boundary, at least a 6, but these guys are taking singles. These guys are taking dot balls. No, to me, that was kind of like what happened with the unimpressive 50, and I'm going to call it unimpressive from Tawari when, of course, you got Mumbai Indians chasing CSK, and this guy is settling for taking singles and rotating the strike with bowlers. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I think that goes to your point. All right there, Nick. I'm going to be real quick about what I did not like about the Rajasthan Royals. Guys, is there anyone on this team that could take the new ball? Anyone at all? Hello, can we get a new ball? Hello, bro. Everybody said, oh, Archer's not that impressive. You want me to read you Archer's numbers from last year? All right. He got the most wickets in the power play. All right. MVP. He breaks up those partnerships. When you don't break up a partnership, you know what happens, Nick? They go off on you for 100, cousin. All right. 49, one guy, 67 or whatever it was, the second guy. You got to go in there and break up that partnership, because once those guys get comfortable and that new ball starts losing its shine, now those guys are going to be able to read it better, and it's going to be pain, all right? It's going to be pain. So, bro, they had nobody that could go in there and get a wicket. It was embarrassing, all right? Embarrassing, and I'm telling you, the bowling was absolutely atrocious, all right? He might as well have gotten hootied, but Chris Morris, 40 on 47 47 runs on 4 overs. Hootie! I don't care. It's an honorary hootie. You're too close to it. You're too close to it. You
get yourself some
trash. He killed my fantasy team. He ravaged me today. Unacceptable. His economy rate was almost at a 12, Nick, 1180, and didn't even bother getting a wicket. At least Sakuraya got himself a wicket, all right? He was the next highest one at 1013. Parang actually got one at 6, but he only went 1 over, and gladly, because he gave up 16 runs. But Nick, the bowling's atrocious, and I hope that this team realizes. And we talked about it at the beginning of the game. I thought they were going to lose this one because we were clowning. They're the only team that can go up and put up 200 and lose to score 210. All right, because they don't have the bowling. And I mean, come on. When are they going to figure this out? Hopefully in the next mega auction, they decide to be balanced. And if Chris Archer, you can't bring him back. You can't just do it with one bowler. Get yourself a death bowler. Dare I say, a Jordan? Oh, man. Well, I just threw up a little bit.
Jordan's a great death bowler.
He would have been better than that trash. He would have been better than all these. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself a legit death bowler. They need it. They need another arm to take in the beginning, and they're in trouble. But, Nick, let me ask you a question. I'll turn it to you, my friend. In this very wild game, is there anything you learned?
Absolutely. Let me just get to your point real quick. You're talking about the death bowling. Remember, Tyagi got 2 wickets, only gave up 1 run. Mustafizur gave up only 4 runs in the 19th, and then he gave up 14 in the 17th. But Chris Morris, 2 overs in the death, only gave up 16 runs. In the death, that's not too bad for 2 overs. It's not great, but it's not horrible, right? Their death bowl is actually not too bad. What I learned is, I mean, there's 2 things I learned. One, I learned it even more. The IPL is so unpredictable. There was overs in the middle overs where the Kings got 25 runs.
It's insane.
16 runs. Crazy amounts of runs. And they still lost this match. I don't understand it. But the main thing I learned is this. And I had an inkling about this one too, but it's completely cemented for me. And with all the things we're saying, please comment below. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what we missed and, what you agree with. But Gabe, would you have a death bowler in that last over and they're in a situation where there's less runs than balls that they have to defend, what are they going to bowl at you more times than not?
They're just going to go ahead and try to get a wicket. So wides, no balls, not no balls, but wides, and wides over.
They might throw that first one, the best ball they have, if they have like a really good one in their arsenal, to see what happens.
Full tosses.
But more than likely, wides are going to come.
Yeah.
If the opposition has more balls than runs, you can stand to sit there and defend for 2 balls because those wides are probably going to come.
Right.
Why in the world? Why? And I get it. Huda, but he's not a tail ender. He's like number 5.
Yeah.
Why in the world does he chase? He chased after 2 in a row. The second one nicked, got caught. One of the wickets. Huge wicket. Because this guy, we've seen him put some runs up. What I learned is when you have the pressure on the opposition, we only need 1 boundary out of 6 balls. We only need 4 runs out of 6 balls. The pressure's on the bowler right now. Why in the world would you let that get reversed? That's what I learned. You got to hold on to the pressure on them, and you've got to have your patience. Because I don't understand what he was doing. Maybe he thought if he stretched as far as he could nick it for an easy boundary. I don't know. But if they keep throwing wides to you, unless the referee's completely lost their mind, or the umpire, you're going to be able to get those runs. And we even saw the umpire on the first wide, I think it was the 3rd or 4th ball. He said he moved too far over. That's why I'm not going to count as a wide. It's crazy to me. And I'm really interested in the audience to respond to that particular point. Why, besides the obvious, they don't want to just not swing at anything. But why, when the pressure's on a bowler, why do you offer at those wides? It's recklessness. It's impatience. I don't think it's good form, but I can be completely wrong. Maybe they felt the pressure. We only got 3 balls left. Got to get 4 runs. Got to do it. Because really, you need at least 3 runs to get that super over. Rennell, they messed you up. Your super over was coming. But that's what I learned.
I mean, those 2 wides were the super over. They just sit there and take the wides. No matter what else happens, it's a super over, right?
Absolutely.
To your point, Nick, let me ask you a question. And I learned something very, very similar. Do you think MS Dhoni loses this game? If he's in the position of a KO Rahul, does he lose this game?
First, let me be annoying. Everyone can make the mistake, but traditionally, no.
Do the Mumbai Indians lose this game with the captainship of Rohit Sharma?
More than likely, no, but I saw them manage a horrible super over last season, but more than likely, no.
One of the things, and you see this, both these teams suffer from it, and I'm going to get crushed around. KL Rahul is not a captain. I'm sorry. There are people talking about future captain of India. Stop it. Stop it. KL Rahul is a horrible captain. I've seen him fluff things up time after time after time again. He always makes poor decisions, and that's just bad captaincy to not let your troops know where they're at. The minute he gets dismissed, he still needs to be letting people know and having people go in their ear and say, look at where we're at, guys. Look where the score is at, and be able to coach that up, okay? And to me, that was just poor captaincyship. Same thing on the other side, all right? Let's be real for a second. If it wasn't for that immaculate inning, we're talking a completely different story. Once again, Rajasthan Royals, how do you blow a game of again, Sanju Samson is a horrible captain. I'm sorry. Go ahead in the comment. Give me all the hate you want. You know it's true. You know it's true, guys. And this is what, maybe it's not the captainship, and now I'm going to get even deeper on this. Maybe it's the ownership group. One of the things that drives me crazy is how loyal MS Dhoni is. But you know what Dhoni's team gets? Consistency. Mumbai Indians, put it on paper. You know who's stepping out there every single time. Consistency. These guys have no idea what they're doing. There's no excuse for the universe boss not to be in there. You don't think that he might have been able to get you those extra 3 runs? He might have been a little bit more aggressive, not taking those dots, maybe have a slightly higher strike rate than Markham, okay? On the other side, same thing. I do not understand them knowing their situation and what they're up against, okay? Put up a side with a bowler that can give you some bowling in the power play, that can handle that new ball. You know what I'm saying? You're part of that decision, who plays and who's in the 11 out. I do not understand how they put these teams together, and this is 2 years in a row. I'm not going to say year after year after year. But last year, Do you know who had the most changes in their lineups, Nick? In and out, in and out, in and out.
Kings probably.
Kings 11. At the time, they were Kings 11. So before you correct me in the chat, they were Kings 11. Now they're Punjab Kings. I know that. Okay. And then last year, do you also know, excuse me, when we're talking about a team who blew the most, chases that teams were able to chase with and had these high score, and the ownership didn't think that in this year's mini auction to make a change? I was sitting there watching.
I think the Royals actually, not to interrupt you, I think the Royals made a lot of changes this year. They might have made the most changes in that little mini auction. Not to interrupt you. I hear exactly what you're saying. It's about producing it on the field, but I do think they made quite a few changes.
Then they didn't bring in the right people, bro. They didn't pin it. And Morris, actually, yeah, you're right. I don't think Morris was here last year. He wasn't here.
RCB.
He was RCB, right? Nah, brother. You saw what he did with RCB. That dude ain't cutting it. All Morris fans, let me have it.
I love Morris.
Give me a guy that I can trust in the death. Give me a guy that can go out in the opening and get me those wickets in the power play, break up that opening partnership. And on the other side, please, Punjab Kings, just let Chris Gale go. We will take him in CSK because you guys are disrespecting a legend. And I'm done with it because they did the same garbage to him last year. You guys have no idea what you're doing as an organization. And to me, it's absolutely atrocious. But those are my thoughts, Nick. That's what I learned. Do you want me to do it? I'll let you have the final word.
Let me just get one quick final thought I forgot about. Lamrour. I said he's the reason why they won the game. It's as simple as this. He had a huge strike rate. He only saw 17 balls. He scored 43. That was the difference right there. We don't know what Chris Gale would have done. But let's say he sees the same 20 balls that Markram saw, right? And this is nothing against Markram, but he is the guy you replace right there.
Right.
He saw 20 balls, 26 runs. I'm willing to bet Gabe's house that he would have got more than 26 runs on those 20 balls. That's all I'm saying. Lamrour won the match for the Royals. Congratulations to him. Everyone else was involved, obviously, but that strike rate was the most important. Once again, it's about the batsman. Gabe, who am I going to be taking as my captain tomorrow?
Oh, that kills me. Because for once he's right. It was about the batsman, and I hate batters, bro. This game right here was a bowler's nightmare, bro. They put on the tapes, and bowlers will be in the physically nauseous looking at this because it was so bad. All right, guys. Here's my mush pick. I could give you logic behind it. I could say this and that, getting snubbed off of T20 team. But I'm going with Shiga Darwin, baby. Shiga Darwin, unless he's not fit.
I was gonna say, is he playing?
2 of my 3 guys, bro. He should be playing.
You got to give me a backup. I am reading the Gabe gospel right now. You got to give me a backup, or I have nowhere to go.
Oh man, I like Shiga Darwin. I believe that he's got something to prove. Chip on his shoulder, got left off that T20 squad, and I mean that's what these guys are coming out right now. These are, and I didn't come up with this myself. This was I heard it on Harsha Bogley. Players with something to prove. Prove it, players, right? You left me off. Your boy Chahal got the only wicket for RCB the other day. Shiga Darwin's like, do you know who I am? You guys leave me off? Shiga Darwin gonna be in there, and if for some reason he's out and not fit, my backup mush player is Prithvi Shaw, another guy who's like, what do I gotta do? Can a brother get all of it? Yo, what do he do? You know, they don't. Can the guy get back on? I mean, he's been amazing the last year and a half, and he cannot get a sniff. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I like DC. New York, normally, I'm gonna hedge my bets, right, Nick? And I try to take players from both sides. My squad tomorrow will be fully loaded with DC players because I expect them to absolutely hold court. You heard it here. DC retains #1 spot above CSK with tomorrow's win.
All right. So I know who I'm picking. Those are very good, safe bets. They make a lot of sense. Your streak could continue, but I'm telling you right now, my unlucky streak in Dream 11 is more powerful than your win streak right now. So whoever ends up being the person, Dewan or Shaw, I'll take as my captain. They'll get less than 5 runs easily. Saying that's how little confidence I have right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you joining us here today. We hope that you enjoy this crazy match as well. And until next time.
That's 6 runs. He said less than 5 runs.
Dude, there's no question about it. That's how confident I am.
Control.